Ladies and gentlemen, this is Sell with GNL. As always, I am Gage Nicholas Lujan, and today, well, we don't just have one guest, we have two. So I just want to get right into that and just let you know the amazing people that we have today. So both of these gentlemen are from Community Access Lending. One, he is the business development manager. Is that the correct word?
Yeah.
All right. He's been in the industry for 3 years, construction for 20, and I just have to say this man knows relationships. He's a father of two. We call him the Bogey Champ, Mr. Bogey.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first guest, Chris Torres.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Pleasure. Gage, thanks.
Yes, sir.
Joshua, what's up?
And the next, the man, the myth, the legend himself at the world famous, can you say it for me?
The world famous
Community Access Lending, Josh Coomer, father of two boys, 2 girls.
Mother of 4.
You're right, 4.
It's four.
I had the 2s in my head. 2 guests, 2 boys, 2 girls, 4 kids. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Josh Coomer.
Thank you, Gage. Thanks for having me, man.
Yes, sir.
We're excited, man. We're super stoked. This is cool. Oh.
Dude, I love doing this just strictly for the fact of it gives me a platform to just speak.
Yeah.
And then also the people that I think are just really cool
Yeah.
have a platform to share their story, be
Yeah.
themselves, and kind of like the content you do, just
Appreciate that, man.
more of like a long form.
Absolutely, man.
Love it.
So, Chris, let's start with you. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and
Oh,
what got you here
man.
at Cal.
So, wow, where do we begin on that? So I've known Josh for many years now, probably about 15 plus, right? Right? What was that?
Somewhere in that vicinity.
He's been trying to headhunt me for 10 of those years, right? And
Come to Vegas. Come to
come to Vegas, get in the mortgage industry. I was doing construction for 20 plus years. I loved it. I think you came to me around 2015, like, do you want to join? And I'm like, nope, don't want to do it. Not my thing. I kind of had a stigma with agents and
I think everybody
lenders,
does.
right? I'm like, no, I'm good. But long story short, I said no. Then he tried again in 2016, 2017. And 2019 was when you reached out to me and said, hey, I'm going to open up my own brokerage. Do you want to join? I'm like, no, I'm good. So.
And this whole time, you guys are brother-in-laws.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Right.
We married sisters, right? So, and that's how him and I connected. We cry a lot together. So, yeah. So whenever, no, I'm playing. But anyways, 19 came around. You reached out to me. I said no, but I do need a home loan. What's up? Let me get a home loan. So then we talked, and here we are today. I took the job in 2020, and couldn't be happier. So, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, I'm glad he brought you out here because if without him, this wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, this connection wouldn't have happened, man. So
One
yeah,
of
no.
the best decisions I've ever made.
Yeah,
Oh,
I think
man.
so.
Thanks, bro. Thanks. Yeah.
So, Josh, how about yourself?
How about myself? As far as what? Mortgage?
Just 20 years.
So I got
what
20
got you here?
23 years in the mortgage industry. Actually, I was in the restaurant industry, dude. I worked at IHOP. I worked my way up from busboy all the way to general manager. And I was just sitting there like, is this all I'm ever going to be? Stuck behind the restaurant, and that just didn't sit well with me. So back in the day when you had the newspaper, the classified ads, I broke it out, and I found a mortgage job. I applied, and they hired me. So I jumped off the ledge, literally ate ramen noodles for 3 months, 3 meals a day, a quarter a meal. That's all I could afford. And that's what got me my foot in the door in the industry. From that point, I worked for some of the largest home builders. I worked for KB Home Mortgage,
Nice.
Richmond American Homes,
Wow.
or Home American Mortgage, which is what got me my my base and my knowledge for mortgage. And then from there, I went to the largest independently owned mortgage company in the nation, which was Meridius Capital at the time. That was right before the big crash, right?
Yep.
So made it through that, and then continued the career, working in the retail model, worked for federally chartered banks, and I really felt there was more for me. Working for somebody else just didn't really sit well for me. I felt like I could do better and I could do more, and that's kind of where the idea came of opening my own brokerage. I actually called Chris, told him my idea. He's like, dude, I think you would be amazing at it. Called my wife, she said the same thing, and next day I had my business license and
There you go.
applying for my mortgage brokerage license, and 6 months after that we opened the doors, and here we are about 4 years later, almost to the day.
That's awesome.
That's insane.
Go ahead.
And you mentioned IHOP, right?
Yeah.
So shout out IHOP's boysenberry syrup.
Oh,
Number
dude, it's
one.
the best, yes.
Have you ever tried it?
Dude, when I went to IHOP, I was so much younger that I always went with my parents, and
Yeah.
I got the Rudy Tooty Jr. or
Oh,
whatever.
oh, the
it's
Rudy
called.
Junior.
Tooty, fresh and fruity.
Yeah, with
that
your
was a good one.
cinnamon apples.
Oh, yeah.
And then last time I was at IHOP, I was probably 20. My lady and I like just got together. We were working opposite shifts, so we went at like midnight
Yeah.
to go eat, and that was the last time I've been there.
You got to go back, man. It's nostalgic. I love it, and their boysenberry is
They changed the name though.
no way. Did they?
They're not IHOP. It's something else.
Well, it
now.
was the International House of Pancakes. It always has been, but then
Correct.
they put it down to IHOP. But it's still, I don't think
Oh.
they changed
No,
it.
they changed the words. We'll
Really?
have to look that up.
Yeah, I'll have to check
I'm
that
telling
out.
you, it's
Shout
different.
out IHOP. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
IHOP
boysenberry syrup, you have to ask for
in
it.
our
It doesn't
hearts.
sit on the table.
you got to ask for it. It's special.
So you kind of already touched on it, like, you know, you decided that you wanted to make a change, and the very next day you got your business license. But like, how did that day go for you? I mean, what was it that really just hit a nerve, and you were like, I have to do this?
Just watching the way the business was running, I felt there was something better for my clients out there, right? And I've always been about, doing right by my clients, no matter what that meant. And just looking at different business models, the broker model is what I was able to provide the best product at the best price, with the best service in the industry, right? And really be able to take that to the next level. That in that moment, dude, the fear, of me believing in myself
Yeah.
and trusting in myself that I can do it, right? And that lasted about, the insecurity of it lasted about 30 minutes, and I was like, dude, I'm cut out for this. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is
Yep.
what I'm supposed to do. And then it was just, guns blazing, full steam ahead, and went for it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the name Community Access Lending, it has a purpose.
It
And we
does.
can kind of get Chris involved in this because that's all he does, at least in my eyes. He's just always with the community, building relationships, business development, right?
Right.
So why was community so important to you?
Community's always been important, man. That's the heartbeat of everything that we do, right? Doing loans is one thing, man. Being a part of your community, giving back, supporting our community, giving the knowledge that people didn't know of being able to own a home, right? You'll be surprised at how many people really just don't understand,
Yeah, they don't.
the process of owning a home, and that they can do it too,
Yep.
right? So community is always what I wanted it to be. I mean, a fun story, right? That wasn't the original name. So the original name was going to be Vegas Strong Mortgage Corp.
Okay.
The reason being is that was the one time I saw our community really come together.
Yeah.
So to me, it meant something different. There was a little bit of backlash on that. People were thinking I was trying to profit off of
Yeah.
a tragedy, obviously, the October 1 that happened out here, and that wasn't the case at all. So, I knew I wanted it to be about community. So community was always going to be there, community, and I just couldn't come up with the name. Funny thing is, we took a trip to California, we're driving, and all the way through, I'm just spitting out names to my wife, and she's like, nope. And about 3/4 of the way back, I saw where it said Access Road, on the freeway. I'm
Yep.
driving, I'm like, community access living, giving our community access to the knowledge that I have,
That's awesome.
right? And that's kind of how the name came about.
That's sweet.
Nice.
So with you
Yeah.
in the community, I mean, like, what's your day-to-day look like working with Josh?
Oh man, day to day. Let's see. I do a lot of stalking, right? So no, I just gotta touch base with everybody.
You know, that's how I started in the real estate industry, was working for a home builder,
Yeah.
stocking toilet paper, Keurig cups, anything
Yeah.
for all of the model home offices. I was their office boy. I just ordered and stocked.
There you go. Well, my stalking was different. I was stalking people, right?
Yeah.
I was watching, but no, it's what I do is, I touch base with everybody in the community, right? Real estate, doesn't matter who it is. I just want to touch base, let them know we're around. Hey, we're new. This is when we started in 1920, but we're starting to get a little notoriety now. So what I'm doing is just keeping relationships going, talking, playing golf, doing what I got to do to keep our name in people's, in their mouths, right? So that's the day-to-day meetings, meeting new people, setting appointments, and just blowing up our Instagram as much as we can, right? Getting in everyone's face, right? Golf, bowling, all his community stuff that we're doing. It's amazing.
And keeping true to the brand.
Yeah.
I mean, he really represents the brand that we put together. And I mean, dude, I couldn't have a better person out there,
Yep, agreed.
pushing our name
Cheers.
out there.
No, but yeah, no, it's a fun gig, man. It's stressful, but it's fun, right? So
Well, I think in any industry where you're working for yourself, or you're up there working for a company that
Right.
is strictly like employees working for themselves, right? It's not necessarily you get to work when you want, because you're working all the time.
Yep.
But you get to work where you want, right? And then being able to get into the community, being strategic, but also genuine with what you're doing with your time,
Right.
and making that difference. I think that's what separates you guys from other people, because a lot of places, the only thing in their name is loans.
Yeah.
Or how quickly they can move loans,
Right.
or if it's on a rocket, right?
Right.
With you guys, it's people first,
Right.
and I think that's a game changer.
So yeah, that's why we have a different route. You know, we obviously we do loans. We don't want people to forget that we're a mortgage brokerage, but we also want people to know that, hey, let's hang out. Let's figure out how we can do stuff together and build that for a lifelong, relationship, if you will. Yeah, I like to say we do things a little different.
Yeah,
100%.
And when building the company, right? They're the biggest problem that people have when they have to get up and go to work is they have to go to work.
Yeah.
Right. I wake up every day and I get to go to work.
Yep.
Right. So just that mentality behind it, it's so much different, right?
100%.
Big time.
I think, especially with working, I'm a realtor. It's what I do. It's what I spend over 50% of my week doing, right? And like you guys are doing loans and you're spending, almost all of your time doing it. But I don't say that, I'm Gage and I am a realtor. I just happen to be Gage. I know real estate, and it's just a part of my life.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I don't go put on the realtor hat.
It doesn't identify you.
Yeah, I get to be me, and
Yep.
that just happens to be a part of it.
Yep.
And I think once you can kind of mesh the two, blend your worlds, family, work, and obviously have balance between them, but it doesn't ever feel like work.
Yeah. Yeah. Isn't that a great feeling?
Yeah.
Like, dude, that's the best. My whole career, I felt like I had to go to work, right? I had to go do this. Now I get to go do it, right? That fills my heart. Just even saying it out loud, man. It's fun.
For sure.
There you go.
So what's in the plan, I guess, the next year, 5 year, 10 year? Like, where do you see Cal going?
Oh wow. Well, I'll let you handle that one because we're moving. We're orbiting for sure right now. So we love it.
No, I mean, we have a lot of big goals that we've set for ourselves in the short term, long term. Doing good, honest business, treating people right, building the company around the right people, right? I'm not out there just hiring anybody just to, fill space and trying to build numbers, right? I want that right person that's going to represent what we stand for, and which I think is amazing. Short-term goals, I want to have a certain amount of loan officers here by the end of this year. But I could jump all the way to my 10-year goal is, to have 10 branches in 10 states doing $20 million or $1.2 billion a year in volume. And bringing everybody that's helped me from this ground all the way up to the top, man, and just watching everybody succeed.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I like to play devil's advocate just to kind of get into the what ifs, right? So 10 states, 10 different branches. If community is still so important, have you thought about how you're going to make sure you have the right people in those communities to make sure that you stay true to what it is at its core?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That's the only reason why I'm still at one branch, right? I could have expanded, but I want to make sure I have the right people in the right place that are going to represent the brand the right way.
Yep.
And at that point, I definitely want to be a part of it all, and I want to be down there for the training, and I want to make sure that the people that we're hiring on are representative of who we are.
That's awesome.
And yeah, I'm going to have my hand in the pot all the way.
I'm a super controller when it comes to my work. Like, I don't even have a transaction coordinator.
Oh, wow.
So thinking about going to other states or, allowing someone to carry, your honor on their back, that's a lot.
And I've built this with some great people around me. That's really the key. The people that are around me are amazing, dude. The support, the knowledge, the community, man. That's my family. The people that I work with are my family. And that's why I'm not in a rush to go out and just start throwing out branches and doing all this. I want to do it the right way, strategically with the right people.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'm a very visual person, but if it's not visual, I can visualize it in my head, and I have to see each little section broken down before I can start it all.
Yeah.
If I jump the gun too quick, or I don't have the information for the 5th step, I'm not going to start. That's just kind of where I am. That's how I do things. So it's kind of cool to see that. I'm not saying I'm successful, but other successful people that I try to be like or portray are kind of on the same.
Oh, yeah. And that's the funny thing. I could close my eyes and I could see that date.
Yep.
Right? I could see it clear as day. So when you know what your goal is, working to get there is easy.
Okay.
There you go.
So that makes me want to ask you guys this. So I wouldn't necessarily say I'm into like manifesting what you want, but I definitely believe like what you put out into the world, you get back, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So whatever that is to you, manifestation, prayer, church,
Yeah.
what is it that you do that you make sure that you get what you're putting in?
First, it starts with believing in yourself, right? And I do believe in my capabilities and what I have to bring to the table. Then you surround yourself with the right people that help your vision grow, right? And they bring in their visions, right? It's not just about one person. It's about community. It's about family, right? And if you do it that way, it makes everything easy. I don't know. I mean, just having the right people, having the vision, having the right people around you really makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah. And I liked a good video that you had posted. You were speaking at one of your events and you were talking to other loan officers, telling them to meet other loan officers. You know, like you're not necessarily competition, like collaborate, get together. And with the world, how it is right now with social media, not necessarily saying use people for their following, but that is a way that you can genuinely connect with someone and now be able to push your product, yourself, your mission. And I think it's the only way to do it at this point.
Well, it's a big on collaborate. Why are you competition? There's no need to have that. You put that wall up, and then people just don't need to do that. I mean, that's all negativity. The more people you can collab with, whether it be a retail lender, a wholesale lender, it doesn't matter. Just get out there, meet these people, and you can potentially have a relationship with them and have something in the future, right? You never know. You don't need to be negative.
And the best part is our platform can help them.
Yeah.
Right? So it's about a collaboration. It's about helping each other, not just, taking. You got to get back.
I love that. So I'm sure we'll kind of get into mortgages, loans, real estate a little further down the line. But I kind of like to just get real for a little bit, right? Just
all right, let's do it.
We're all friends outside of the industry now.
Oh, yeah.
And we actually didn't even meet because of real estate or loans. It was through golf, right? So
Golf.
yeah, GOLF.
Good old golf. Yeah.
Doesn't it just like golf? It
There
just
it
sounds
is.
so good off the tongue.
Yeah, no, that's how we met. It's one of those things. I don't even know when we met originally. Right? Was it Trop or was it?
So this is funny. I've never actually called you out on this. So when he introduces me to people, he's like, "Yeah, we met at an RGC event, blah blah blah." So not necessarily calling you out, but I don't remember that. But I don't remember talking to anybody except Mateo, because Mateo just completely like captivated me, brought me in, made me feel warm and fuzzy and welcomed. But if you remember me, then I apologize. I don't remember you.
It's all good, man. I forget things myself.
You're good. But at the Trop event, even before like the very first one, I had signed up, I had reached out, and then it was like we were already friends before the first event even got there. Like,
so then it was a random golf club that we met initially then, right? Because we were friends before that, or was it after Trop?
No, I had signed up for Tropicana.
Right.
Then you do your due diligence, reaching out to the guys, welcoming them. And that was like, I think, what initially started, because we didn't follow each other at that time beforehand.
We got teamed up on the first event, and that's how I got to meet you.
Yep. It's just funny how things work. You guys made me feel like so good that night. It was like you guys, Sergio, and one or two other people. They're like, "Oh, you're Gage. You're the realtor. You do videos."
Oh,
and
right on.
I was like, I didn't know I was known like that. That's cool.
I grouped you guys?
Yeah.
So that was my fault. Okay, got it. No,
Yeah.
I don't even remember who I grouped people with at the beginning, so
Yep.
that was fun, man. Yeah.
So I'm also a new father.
Yes,
Nice.
congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You guys are seasoned vets in the game.
I'm not a vet yet, but I'm learning. So
I'm a vet.
yeah, he's a vet. Yeah. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, bro.
4 deep. I mean, you
deep,
got your time in.
Yeah, no. And then,
So there's a lot of things that like I've learned just in the last 5 months.
Yeah.
Whether it's taking more outside information or opinions than I should, and realizing that I really need to internalize more, right? Just things like that you think you're doing the right thing, or just another way to do it the right way.
right.
But then something happened and you pivoted, and now you parent different, or you speak to them differently. Like, what's been a big change that you pivoted to that's made the biggest impact? Maybe not ever, but in recent years.
Ooh,
Honestly, showing love.
Yeah.
I mean, let them know how important they are, showing up,
Yeah.
being there like that. I mean, showing up is probably the number one thing,
Yeah.
man. I go home every night. I'm not the guy that's out in the bars or here or there. Yeah, we have our networking events that we go to, but my kids know that I'm going to be home every night. They
Yep.
know I'm going to tuck them in. They know I'm going to kiss them goodnight every single night. My 14-year-old daughter still lets me hug her and kiss her goodnight. That, to me, like as a teenager, still
Yeah.
lets me hug her and kiss her to goodnight. That says I'm doing something right.
Yep.
But it's just showing up, man.
Yep.
And we know what's right. We know what makes us feel good, right? They're just little versions of us.
Yep.
Right? So you show up, you show that love, you let them know how important they are, lift them up in their times, support them in their down times, and just be there.
What about you, Papa?
Ooh, man. For me, one thing I've noticed is since my kid turned 4, my oldest Mateo, I don't necessarily talk to him like a kid anymore sometimes. So, like, for instance, if we go out and we play a lot of golf, and if he misses a putt, I said, you got to make that putt. I kind of have to give him that so he knows. I don't want to give him participation trophies, if you will,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like, you got to, hey, man, sorry. And, but it's interesting to see his personality come out because now he knows when he messes up on a putt or if he did something wrong, he's like, oh, shoot, Dad's going to get mad at me, But I'm showing him, hey, you can't do this. Instead of blank, it's okay. Nah, bro, you can't do that. Hey,
Yeah.
that's off limits. Don't touch that, But with the baby, I got to be goo goo gaga with him all
Yeah.
day because it's only got another 6 months left with that,
Soft,
right?
dude.
Yeah, I got to just. And my little guy is just bundle of joy, man. So
How old's your little one?
16 months.
Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, just almost a year and a half.
yeah,
When and I say this because my daughter, she's 5.5 months, almost 6, and we decided a couple nights ago we were just gonna go through the archive of photos and videos of her.
yeah,
And that they grow, but we're looking at photos and I'm holding her in the carrier and she fits here, and now her legs go to my
Yeah.
middle of my thigh, and I'm not that big of a person, so maybe she's not that big, but it's a big difference in the photos.
Right.
And then their faces, she just has so many strong features now, and so there's so much change, so much. So for you having a little one, when did your little guy change? What was the biggest difference? Not necessarily walking or those types of milestones, but when did you just one day see him or something happen and you were like,
wow.
Wow.
It's funny you say that.
This
So
is
my
different.
oldest,
yeah,
we just had that conversation on Monday. Mateo's face changed completely. And now
Really?
he's like a little man, right? So he's got his personality. He has his attitude. He has his opinions. And it's like, where did my little dude go,
Yeah.
right? But I have to embrace it, let go, because I can't say, oh, baby. No.
Yeah.
I have my other guy to do that with. But it just happened with him as of recent, within the last week. My youngest son, I haven't noticed a change yet because he's so young, but I'm starting to see the personalities.
Yeah.
So it's coming. And he's walking, and he's kind of
that's so cool.
demanding, and he eats everything in sight. He's a big boy.
I wouldn't even say that it's I'm scared to lose my little girl. I think that's the wrong word, but that's kind of the way to get it over, to make my point.
Yeah.
But, they're only little for so long.
Yep.
Or they're only where they're at for so long. And they get to a point where that little boy or that little girl isn't there anymore.
Yep.
But there's so much more to love.
Of course.
And, I find myself getting stuck and just for over anything.
Yeah. Have more.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right? But these 6 months have flown by. I'm she's 17 and a half years and she's 18. I'm going to be 45 and I just I need to slow down.
Yeah, no, it's a lot to watch them grow, but they have so many different stages.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right? Almost every year something new happens. A face changes, a personality comes out, fears come out, all these different things. I got a 14-year-old now as my oldest. So like you just said, 17 and a half, I'm looking at 4.
Yeah.
Right? That almost makes me want to cry, dude, thinking about that. But I still have that 6-month-old baby in my heart and my memory.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So by saying that it's not there anymore, it's still there. When
Yeah.
I look at her face, I still see that little baby. We just watched the video the other day when they were in a play and they were practicing at home. My wife was filming them, and her and my son. It was probably about 7 years ago. So she was 8 years old
Yeah.
or so, 7, 8 years old, and he was Ep4, you know, and watching them dance around and sing and all these things. I was just like, man, you forget.
And it's beautiful.
But that's what all of this, you know, the film, everything that we do, we capture these moments. And now with today's technology, we could go back and relive that.
Yeah.
You know, it brought me right back to that spot.
Yep.
So that's cool.
I don't know if you guys saw, I just posted a video about maybe a week ago now of me, 5.5 years old, singing Backstreet Boys in boxers and a t-shirt, right? And it takes me back. And luckily my parents and my dad, he would haul around the big one before it turned into like a camcorder like this, and they recorded everything. Cool. And so like those videos have always meant so much to me, and just kind of my childhood as a whole. I don't look at my childhood and like apologize to the little boy or tell him he's safe, because my parents genuinely, truly like loved me, cared for me, and that little boy singing and dancing Backstreet Boys will still be this 27-year-old doing karaoke singing Backstreet Boys and then sing.
There you go. Yeah.
And I want and I hope and I work every day so my daughter can have that also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I hurt for people that have, they call it childhood traumas, but not even necessarily like a big trauma, but just like maybe the way, you know, your dad didn't come home some nights, right? Or he didn't show up to games. My dad worked 60 plus hours a week, was on call 24 hours a day for SWAT. My mom worked 40 plus hours a week, you know, came home in her heels, still cooking dinner. And no matter how tired or how much they worked, they never missed a game, you know? And so everyone wants to be better than their parents. And like, I have little things to pick at to be better at. And I just hope that I can give that to my daughter or other kids.
I mean, just knowing the person that you are, dude, you're going to do just fine.
Yeah, man.
I'm trying, man.
Are you doing it? You're doing it, bro.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, no, that's fun.
That's
Dude, think about these memory lane videos when they get married later on in life, because we've got it all on camera.
Dude, I don't know how I'm going to choose. She's 6 months old, and I already have like 10,000 photos.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I had to upload some photos on the cloud, and it took 8 hours. So, good, man.
Right.
Let's do it. Let's talk loans.
So,
Community Access Lending, their #1 brokerage in America.
yeah, this has been brought to you by GNL Selves and Community Access Lending.
There you go. See? Let's do it.
Okay, so you've been back in Vegas for how long?
Next month will be 3 years exactly that I'm back in Vegas.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so for me being like a realtor, I'm born and raised here.
Oh, wow.
So I think that's what's allowed me to have the success that I have. You know, regardless of how much I know about the city, and I can close my eyes and picture it, like it's imprinted in the back of my brain, right? I think the #1 thing for me, and what's allowed me to be as successful as I am with more potential to continue to grow, is the relationships and the time that I've spent. And, you know, I know my friends, and then I know their parents and their grandmas and their uncles, and then it's just, I feel like if I moved to another state, I would not have the type of success that I have here, because I would be building relationships to make my money rather than making money off of the relationships that I've built, right? So for you coming here, starting relationships, I mean, was it kind of hard to kind of build your own little community?
Yes and no. I mean, I just had to do it, right? Because I had no choice, right? Coming into town, I knew a few select people that I'd known for years, Josh being one of them, some of my old friends from back in the day, but everybody kind of already left Vegas. So when I came here, it was a whole new world, right? So it took some time. It took a lot of effort, a lot of no's, I'm good. And then here we are today. So we're doing very well, but it took some time. It wasn't easy. But, I mean, I think we built a pretty good community, made a lot of good friends, connected with a lot of people, and it's fun, right? So it took me some time.
What about you? Were you born and raised out here?
No, I was actually born and raised in Southern California, in Northridge.
Okay. You talked about that at golf.
Yeah. So I actually moved out here in 1993. So I've been in Vegas longer than you've been alive.
2 years.
Yeah.
Wait.
Barely.
I got you by a couple of years.
Wait, what year were you born?
95.
I got on.
Yeah.
Damn. I'm 84.
Okay, pivot real quick.
Yeah.
What did you just say?
That's like saying "oh shit" in Spanish.
So
Yeah.
my whole family, my family's Hispanic. My dad's side, I have so many cousins, I only know them by primo.
Okay.
Or like
Cuz.
a lot. Yep.
Yep.
A lot of my aunts and uncles, they're just tia, because I see them every couple of years, and they remember me because I was so little. But
Yeah.
I like didn't. So it's just huge family.
Yeah.
And they all speak Spanish. Unfortunately, my father never taught me, but they all. And then you guys at golf have these amazing one-liners.
Yeah.
Like the most that I can say is basura and
Yep.
like
Trash.
other stuff that I probably shouldn't say on camera.
Yeah, for
Like,
sure.
you
Yeah,
know,
we definitely talk like sailors out there on the
I'm
golf course.
trying to
Yeah.
learn. Like
It's-
I want to. Like I have all of that in my blood, even though I'm so white passing, it's disgusting. But like
Okay.
I'm trying. Like even if I could just get in on like the top 20 Spanish one-liners, like that would make me so happy.
We got a job for you, man. We need to teach them some one.
Oh man, yeah, that's. I mean, shoot, yeah. I mean, how much time do you got, right? So, it just comes out naturally, and I think when people in the club, Hispanics or whoever it is, start saying it and they use it, it's just like it's a way of like, all right, cool, let's just use
Yeah.
this, right?
Yeah.
And it's endearment, man. We're just trying to show love
Yeah.
in our funky way, right?
Yeah.
So if we're talking crap, that means we love you, right?
Yeah.
So
being a part of Tropicana Golf Club and barbershop.
barbershop, shout out Jimmy.
Yep, just gonna say that. Being in this group, I mean, I would say maybe not predominantly, but there's a lot of Hispanic culture
Yeah.
in everybody, and it really makes it feel like home. You know,
Okay.
like my grandfather passed away just after I graduated high school, and the whole family, 150, 200 people had gotten together for his celebration of life. And before that, we'd get together every year, every 2 years, always at his house. So when he passed, that kind of stopped. So like I haven't really had that Hispanic Mexican culture for a while.
Right.
So I get with these cats, and it's like, man, I feel like I'm home again.
Yeah.
See, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's more than golf.
Yeah, and this guy knows all of it. He just hides it. He knows what he's talking about. He says a lot of
I don't let you got boy.
yeah, he says a lot. So yeah, I mean, it's just the way we communicate, and then it's kind of a perfect combo. SoCal and Vegas doing
Yeah.
this together. I mean, it's beautiful.
Yep.
Yep.
Most of my stuff's from the kitchen when I worked at IHOP, you know, so I can't really
Yeah.
put it on camera.
Yeah, there it
Yep.
is.
And I mean, I learned a lot of it working construction in the field, right?
Yep.
A lot of the stuff they said, and you know, at first when I was a kid, I'm like, what are they saying to me? Like, what does that mean? Because I knew the words, but I didn't know what they meant coming out of their mouths.
Yeah, because there's a lot of slang with
Right.
it, right?
I mean, I understood it, but I'm like, what does he mean by what he just said, right?
Mm-hmm.
So later on, I'm like, hey, are they talking shit about me, man? He's like, no, man, they're just showing you love in their form. I'm like, all right, cool.
Mm-hmm.
So that was me being a kid, and now I know it, and here I am today saying it to yourself, right?
Yep.
So,
That's cool.
yeah.
So with showing love, right? Let's talk about like just with our immediate group of friends, like people that I genuinely care about. Like I say, "What's up, Papa?"
Yeah.
And that's my grandfather, the one that had passed when after I graduated. He was Papa,
Oh, wow.
and I was
My
his.
grandfather was Papa too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I was his first grandbaby from his oldest son. That's my dad, obviously. And so I was Little Papa. So that whole side of the family calls me Little Papa.
Okay.
So now it's just like my term of endearment. Like I still say bro and
Right.
dude, but like if I genuinely love you and I just think you're a great person, like you're getting the Papa card pulled
Nice.
out real quick. So like what's one way you guys show love, whether it's calling somebody, a specific term of endearment or, I guess we can get into our love languages.
Yeah.
But like what's a way you show love to your family, your friends? Like what genuinely brings you joy to show them love in this way?
I'm a big hugger. That's me. I give hugs, bro, and that's my thing. Handshakes are cool, but hugs are everything, right?
Yep.
So I'm a hugger, or I do the "Kiwale." That's my thing, So,
Translation?
what's up?
Kiwale?
Yeah, kiwale. Yeah,
All right, that's sweet.
yeah.
I'm learning a lot.
There you go. Yeah. It's just something that we do just to show love, or like I said, I covered on earlier. It's just like, oh shit, right? But
Yep.
it's just the terms that we use.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a hugger too. I mean, I think that means a lot. You
Yeah.
know, it shows. But just being engaged, man, looking at somebody, what up, big boy, you know,
Yep.
or whatever. I mean, like my oldest, I call her baby girl. You know, she's at 14, she's still my baby girl, right? And my son below her is my big boy. You know, so I don't know. It just, I don't have anything specific. It's just where I'm at in that moment. But I think it's more this eye to eye. You see, I'm engaged in what you're saying.
100.
You know, when we come in.
All right. So we've kind of been way below surface level for like the past 15 minutes.
Okay.
Almost had you crying about your baby girl about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Let's just kind of get back into what we do. Just quick fire, just things going on right now, right? Or things that may have happened. Have you ever been given fraudulent documentation? And if so, what happened?
100%.
The way that came out was so awesome, dude. Well, have you ever been given?
No, 100%, man. I mean, I've been doing loans for over 23 years.
Yeah.
Man. So back in the day,
What's like the worst, like...
I've had people alter their W-2s, their bank statements, their paycheck stubs. You know, the biggest mistakes is they don't know how to add. Right? You can change you could change a deposit on your bank statement, but they don't change the balance at the bottom.
Yeah.
Or their paycheck, it just doesn't add up.
Yep.
I mean, granted, this doesn't happen nowadays with current technologies and everything else. I'm talking 20 years ago. You know, you get some stuff and you'd be like, why are the lines crooked?
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
And this is when they used to like use whiteout.
Yep,
cut
and then go
paste,
rescan
and
it.
They would be out there with scissors cutting stuff and taking Yeah, it was bad there for a while. But I mean, if I saw it, I called it out, man. I'm about doing good, honest business, and I always have been.
Yep.
You know.
For sure.
Yeah, we ain't cutting corners, man. Well, if we know this will get back to us, yeah, we ain't touching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, get away. Don't do it. No, it's not worth it.
Okay. Question number 2. What is the best program or product you guys have been giving to buyers recently?
Oh, that's a good one.
Like, what's something that's just like you just keep recommending because like it's just a knock a home run.
Well, I mean, I'll hit on 2, right? VA for our veterans, I think, is an amazing program that you would think the VA would educate their people about, but they don't.
Don't even get me started with the government and the military.
Right, exactly. But so that message is huge, right? I mean, it's 100% loan, great interest rates, no mortgage insurance. So that's my favorite program to do.
Yep.
Besides that, do the down payment assistance programs, because right now there's so many people that are uneducated that don't understand that they could purchase a home. They just can't save enough money for a down payment, and they think they're done. They need 20% down or this. So the DPA programs have been huge.
Okay, let me ask you some behind the scenes questions, just because I'm in the industry and there's stigmas to things, right? So
Yeah,
like
of course.
people who are realtors, if a house isn't selling, they're gonna claim, oh well, if the commission's only 2%. Other realtors are not showing that to their clients, right? And that's 100% illegal.
Yep.
And
Such a disservice.
it's just wrong. But like that's like a stigma, like unfortunately, maybe if you raise the commission, you'll get more showings, right? That's something that we come along with. So a stigma that I've heard, and you can confirm it, is lenders don't make as much money on a down payment assistance loan. So again, just what I've heard, right? I know it can vary, but if they don't make more from what I've been told, and there's been instances where I've been told a client shouldn't go that route, I don't understand why. Do you think maybe it could have been because they didn't want to get paid less
Of course.
on a loan?
Yeah, and you got different business models within our industry, right?
Yeah.
From the retail model to wholesale to your big bank, your federally chartered banks. And it's all in how the company is structured and how they pay out their loan officers,
Yep.
right? Way we're structured, we pay out the same to every loan officer on every loan, whether it's down payment, VA, conventional, jumbo, non-QM. It doesn't really matter.
Is that common in your industry to have a pay structure like yours?
No, it's not.
Everyone varies, dude.
Everyone
Yeah.
does vary. I built this for the loan officer. This was a loan officer building a company for loan officers.
Yep.
And I understood because I dealt with that, right? And I would never do the disservice of steering somebody away from a program that fit their needs and what they needed to be successful in their home buying journey, right?
It's because you have this.
What do I got here?
The Nike check.
Your heart.
Oh, my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people do because it's very difficult to get consistent business in our industry. Believe it or not, yes, there's a ton of real estate agents, there's a ton of business going out there, but it's super competitive. And so the ones you do get, if you're making, say, a third of what you would make on a traditional,
Yep.
loan officers are going to steer it in a different direction because they may need that payday, which to me, I don't like that, so that's why I've built this a different way.
Yep. Okay. Next question.
What do you got?
With the industry as it is right now, what is it that you're wanting to change? Like,
I think you touched on it earlier, collaboration between our industries.
Yep, big time.
I mean, loan officers walk around like this is a competition between us instead of collaborating, figure out what's working for each other
Yep.
and helping each other grow. That would be the one thing I would really change is that collaboration.
okay. And then anybody interested getting into loans, being a mortgage officer, is it a mortgage or loan officer?
It's a loan officer.
Loan officer. What is, if you were to give them, not necessarily the tips or tricks to get started, but just the reality of what this industry looks like on day one?
Well, these gray hairs have been here since I was 23 years old. No, it's a stressful industry. I mean, there's no other way to put it. We're dealing with the largest investment of somebody's life. They're sitting across the table asking us to borrow hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in some cases, right? It's a big responsibility, and not a lot of people are cut out for it. They don't have the ability to process the amount of stress that does come with this,
Yep.
because it is not a perfect industry. Things do fall through the cracks. Things do
Yep.
happen.
Yep.
And on the other side of that is a real person that has put up real money to purchase a home. And if that doesn't happen, dude, that weighs heavy on somebody.
Yep.
So just really understanding the consequences of you not doing a thorough job,
Yep.
right?
I think that's huge because, there's agents that, even if you do more than 2 deals a year, if you're a starting agent, you do 3, or someone who does 30 or 300, right?
No.
Either way, we do more than any regular person will do in a year, 5 years, 10 years. So it's just another house per se to us.
Right.
So it can be very easy to not have that care and that attention to detail. So it's very important, very crucial that we are taking care of each person, and now that I have a baby, as if they're my child,
100.
right?
Yep.
And if you just look at it as just another transaction, that other person, I promise you, is not looking at it as just another house I'm buying.
Oh yeah, and that's the way it is also on the lending side. They look some lenders look at it as a transaction, and you got to build that relationship because then they're going to send you people if you show love.
Yep.
So
There's a real person there.
there is a real person
real
there.
feelings, real emotions.
Yep.
Real money on the line.
Okay. So what I like to do, and I don't do this every episode, and when I do it sometimes in the middle, but I think this is a great way for us to kind of start wrapping it up.
Special time.
Yep. Going deep. So, again, doesn't have to be recent, but at some point in your life, something happened, and you're not allowed to say that you wanted to open up your own office. At some point in everybody's life, a light bulb goes off.
Yep.
And there's a huge shift in perspective, mindset, work ethic, whatever it is. So, what was it? And to other people who are listening or are going to see this online, what would you tell them that changed your life, that if they implemented into their life, you promise that it would change everything for them as well?
Let you go on this.
Oh, that's a good one for me. And I mean, that's simple. I was in I was in construction for 20 years, right? And I was what you call complacent, happy there, right? I was good. I was good to go. Everything was great, but I was stuck. I needed something new. And because of my wife telling me to stop being a chicken, she goes, you need to make a leap. Try something different. So I made the leap into the mortgage industry, and it's the best leap I've ever made. And I'll tell you why, because I was crying like a baby. I didn't want to do this. I didn't want to make the move. I didn't want to move to Vegas. I was so afraid, but I did it. So what I would say is trust your gut and just do it. You just have to do it. And if you don't, you're just going to sit in the same place forever. And I would have done that. So, and here we are today. So I think show up, just jump in the pool. Jump in the pool.
With all your clothes on.
With all your clothes on. So,
Mr. Coomer?
For me, you're actually in that point that I was when I got that, when my first child was born. That is where life became real. You know, before that, I mean, I was young, dumb, and running around and having fun and making more money than I knew what to do with. So,
Yep.
you know, you do a lot of stupid things. But once I saw the eyes of that little girl, you know, and it was my daughter, and I was responsible for that, dude, that changed my life, you know, for the better. Yeah, I could still picture that moment, you know.
That's
and
cool.
So that was my light bulb, and that's what changed my life for the better to keep growing.
So then what is it that, obviously being a dad changes things, but what was it then that changed in your thought process, in your practice, that somebody else could take and implement, whether they have kids or not? Like,
Yeah.
for me, having a daughter, it made me realize, like, I can work a lot harder than I had before.
Yeah.
And that's a vague term, but touching base on, like, actually having a connection with our clients and
Yep.
treating them like we were just saying, like, every client is like my kid per se. Like, I'm
Okay.
going to care for you, and that's changed everything for me, right? So, like, what was it that changed for you in practice after having your first baby?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't just playing it by ear anymore. It wasn't just, you know, working hard, doing the best I can, and hoping everything falls into place.
Yep.
You know, I had to change my psychology, right? Having an amazing psychology and how you look at things in life, that's really where I changed, right? You know, instead of just like, yeah, it'll be fine.
Yep.
You know, I'll figure it out. You know, I had to be detailed on my actions, what I wanted, where I was going to go, how I was going to get there.
Yeah.
Pretty much a business plan for my life.
Yep.
You know, and that was the moment that made me change my psychology.
That's awesome.
What's yours?
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
That puts you in the hot seat, bro.
Yeah, I know,
man?
right? So, I think for me, so let's take it back a little bit, right?
Alright, yeah.
So, my parents had gotten divorced when I was like 15 or 16, or at least the process started. And as I said earlier, like, I had a perfect childhood, and like, I can't think of anything that I would want to change with
Yeah.
it. But when they had gotten divorced, it was a house every other week,
Yeah.
split clothes, split stuff. And so I, at that point, was like, I'm just going to live with dad for, 6 months. And then I'm just going to live with mom for 6 months. Like, I wanted to have all my stuff. And everything was me, right? Because, like, I was spoiled with love, spoiled with things.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't just get what I wanted. Like, I worked for it, but I knew if I worked, my parents would take care of me,
Yep.
right? And so from 16 to 18, I was a good student, but I was starting to show signs of just like, I don't really give a shit, And luckily, I was smart enough to not necessarily go to school, but I would still ace my tests. Like, my math teacher would tell me, like, Gage, you're late every day anyways. You sleep in class, and you still, like, you ace this test on Friday. Just come to class on Friday. And that was my senior year. But then college, I tried to give as little effort as I did in high school and realized you actually have to work, right? And instead of doing that, I made excuses as to, I'll just do this instead and go work in the restaurant industry and make money. And again, everything was me with my time at work, where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do, staying out late. And like, I feel like I gave a shit about my friends and the people I was around, but at the end of the day, like, it was just all about me. And I kind of rebelled and did the things that I would never do I had both my parents to go home to. Right? And a big pivot for me was meeting my fiance, Molly.
Wow.
I had just kind of gotten my life back in order, and I was getting, because of my uncle where I met her, getting the job where she worked.
Stalker.
A little bit.
Yeah.
You guys cut it out. I said in the video,
Did we?
I'm not a stalker, but
it's in there.
I'm a predator.
Predator.
We're more professional.
See, I don't know. See,
Greg?
wait, no, hold on.
Stalkers are amateurs.
Yeah, but predator. That's kind of creepy, bro.
Methodical.
Yeah,
But
predator.
the intention was with love. It wasn't.
Yes, 100. So.
All right, reeling it back in.
Predator.
So, I was, every day I'm going to wake up, I'm going to go to work. When I get off, where's the next party I'm going to?
Yeah.
Or where's everybody hanging out? And there was never kind of like a long-term goal, like a life plan, like you were saying, right? And so I saw this wonderful young lady at the time who I genuinely wanted to be a better person for. And so, at that point, I didn't have much money. And then when we officially started dating, I had no job at all. And I was in the process of starting a new job, which changed everything for me at the time. But just like really having, I guess, like a family again, because I really my family was split apart.
Right.
So as much as I could go see my mom, go see my dad, like it just was different.
Of course.
So now to like have home and somebody again,
It filled that empty spot.
it changed everything.
Of course,
And I mean, I don't.
Yeah. No.
Starting to get wet. in my
No,
eyes.
you're good. You're good.
But that's really what it is. Is just, I've always been like a very positive person. I believed in myself. If you
Right.
told me I couldn't do something, I'm going to do it.
Yep.
But to just have somebody who believes those things in you as well,
Oh yeah.
it changes everything.
Big time.
So
Love that, man.
That's a really good way to put it, man.
I'm a sucker for love too.
There you go.
So am I.
Oh yeah. Okay. There you go.
Right.
I'm all right.
Any final statements, gentlemen? Tell them where they can find you. Anything
I mean,
to take
just
on the road.
shout out Las Vegas, right? Shout out the whole city. We love it here. You guys can reach me at the Chris.Torres on Instagram. Community Access Lending with Josh, and I'd love to meet new people and connect and grind and play golf.
Yep,
That's
that's
my
golf.
life. And Miller Lite, baby.
Yeah, no. Love our city. Love, you
Beautiful
having us
city.
doing this with us, man. I think it's amazing, dude. It helps us grow together. And
Yep.
I like that. But yeah, shout out to Las Vegas. Follow us on Community Access Lending. If you ever need a mortgage advice, you want a job in the mortgage industry, hit me up, man.
Oh yeah, we're
Check it
hiring.
out. Yeah, we're hiring.
We're hiring,
Yeah.
y'all. So
All right.
we'd love to connect.
Gentlemen, it's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
Oh, watch it.
It's all good.
Love the mics, bro. These are nice.
I'm trying. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I've stated, this is Sell with GNL. Please follow us on Instagram, YouTube. Download our episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcast. I'm Gage Nicholas Lujan. See you later.
Peace. Love it, bro.
Shit.
Boom, boom.
Now I gotta take a piss.
That was fun.
That was fun, bro. We got to do a drinking episode, though.